It was the first day of winter, and the classroom windows fogged with the breath of 30 restless kids waiting for the final bell. But in the last row, a boy sat quietly, his hands tightly clutching the straps of a worn-out backpack that looked far older than him. His shoes had holes, his clothes were too thin for the cold, and his eyes held a sadness that didn't belong in a child. This is the story of Ethan, a 12-year-old orphan boy who was about to quit school forever, until one teacher's kindness turned his life around. Before we begin, if this story touches your heart, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Pure Kindness Stories. Your support helps spread stories of hope to those who need them most. Ethan had learned early in life that silence was safer than words. He'd lost his parents in a car accident when he was only 6. After bouncing between foster homes, he ended up in a group shelter on the edge of town. Food came in small portions, clothes were donated, and love wasn't something Ethan really remembered. Each morning, he'd walk 3 miles to school. He never complained. His shoes let in water when it rained, and his fingers often went numb from the cold, but he never missed a day, until he almost did. Mrs. Parker, the school's English teacher, first noticed Ethan not because he spoke, but because he didn't. While the other children chatted, laughed, and sometimes disrupted her class, Ethan sat still, his eyes always fixed on the textbook, his hands always folded neatly on his desk. His grades weren't bad, but his silence was louder than any voice in the room. One rainy afternoon, as the dismissal bell rang and children rushed outside, Mrs. Parker saw Ethan still at his desk, staring blankly at his notebook. Everyone had left. Only the sound of rain tapping the windows remained. "Ethan," she said gently. He looked up, startled. "I'm sorry. I'll go." She smiled kindly. "You don't have to rush. Are you waiting for someone?" He shook his head. "No. Just waiting for the rain to stop." But Mrs. Parker had already seen the soaked hem of his pants and the flapping sole of his shoe. She paused, then offered, "Would you like a ride home?" Ethan stiffened. "No, thank you, ma'am. I live close." She didn't press him, but something about the way he hunched over as he walked away tugged at her heart. Over the next few weeks, Mrs. Parker began to notice more. Ethan's lunchbox was always empty. He never participated in school events. He wore the same hoodie every day, even when it rained. And then one Thursday, he wasn't in class. Nor was he in the next day. Or the one after. Concerned, Mrs. Parker spoke to the school office. After some digging, she discovered that Ethan had dropped out. No notice, no explanation. She drove to the address listed on his file, which turned out to be the local group shelter. A tired-looking man at the front desk told her, "Ethan left. Said he wasn't coming back. We think he's trying to find work somewhere downtown. Kid's tough, but he's just a kid." Mrs. Parker didn't sleep that night. The next day, she went downtown with a photo of Ethan from the school yearbook. She asked vendors, shopkeepers, bus drivers, anyone who might have seen him. By evening, she found him near the back entrance of a small diner, shivering in the alley, trying to help unload crates in exchange for leftover food. "Ethan," she called, heart pounding. He froze. "Mrs. Parker." She walked up to him slowly. "What are you doing here?" His eyes dropped. "I needed to work. I can't keep going to school. I don't have shoes that don't leak. I don't have lunch. I just don't belong there." Something broke inside her at those words. "You do belong," she said softly. "You belong in every classroom, every hallway. You belong in a place where people care about you. And I care, Ethan. But I don't have anything," he whispered. Mrs. Parker knelt to his level. "You have something no one can take away. You have a mind that's smart, a heart that's kind, and a future that can be brighter than you've ever imagined. But you have to let someone help you get there." Tears welled in his eyes. "Why would you help me?" "Because someone once helped me when I thought I didn't matter. And they changed my life." With the shelter's permission, Mrs. Parker became Ethan's guardian. She bought him new clothes, better shoes, and filled his backpack with supplies. But more importantly, she gave him something he'd never had before: stability. She made sure he had 3 meals a day. She helped him with his homework. She encouraged him to join the school's reading club and even got him into a weekend robotics program. At first, Ethan struggled. He was shy, awkward, and unsure of how to accept kindness. But slowly, with Mrs. Parker's steady love and support, he began to bloom. His grades soared. He started smiling more. And one day, during a class presentation, he stood in front of the room and told his classmates a story he wrote himself. It was about a bird with broken wings who thought it would never fly, until a gentle hand lifted it, fed it, healed it, and taught it that its wings were never broken. They had only been waiting to grow. The class was silent when he finished. Then they clapped. Some even stood. Mrs. Parker wiped her tears quietly at her desk. Years passed. Ethan graduated high school at the top of his class. He earned a scholarship to a prestigious university where he studied education, inspired by the woman who had given him a second chance. He returned years later, not as a student, but as a teacher. And on his first day, as he walked into his classroom filled with curious little eyes, he saw a boy sitting alone at the back. Quiet. Nervous. Familiar. Ethan smiled warmly. He knew that look. And just like Mrs. Parker had once done for him, Ethan knelt beside the boy and said, "You belong here. And I'll help you fly." This story is a reminder that a single act of kindness can transform a life. When you invest love, time, and compassion into someone who feels forgotten, you don't just change their present, you rewrite their future. Let's be like Mrs. Parker. Let's be like Ethan. If this story moved you, please like the video and subscribe to Pure Kindness Stories. Together, we can spread messages of hope that might just inspire someone to keep going. Thank you for watching.